All right.
Go.
How to survive travel injury or sickness.
And or sickness. 'Cause
And
sometimes they happen together.
At the same time.
Russia, you tell the first story. Go.
Arjun, Peru, 2,500 meters above sea level. Arjun is mountain biking, breaks his foot, it's facing the other way. We take him to the hospital. Before they do anything, the doctor takes his foot and puts it back in place. He screams, the doctor is kind of smiling, the nurse is laughing, it was messed up. He gets his surgery done, comes home, surgery's botched, have to redo it. 2 years later, he's finally 3 surgeries later, okay. Having said that, sometimes you should judge the situation and the country based on where you are, and sometimes you just should probably just go home. Just say screw it, eat a bunch of painkillers, fly home, get your own doctor involved, get someone you trust to do your important surgery.
Which was a really tricky situation to be in because our friend's foot literally was facing the wrong direction, and it's like, hey, do we want to send him on a plane home, or do we want to just admit him to the hospital here and he's in the hands of a hospital in a third world country?
We had to make a game time decision. But at the end of the day, it's your body. You are the one that has to make that decision. Get travel insurance. If you didn't have travel insurance, you'd be screwed way worse.
Yeah. Okay, here's another story about sickness. So we were in Thailand, we were in Koh Samui, and our diets had kind of changed drastically from going to India to Thailand. We were eating pad thais and curries and
spicy food.
Lots of spicy food, just like constantly, and we weren't eating as much fruit and vegetable. I mean, I was still drinking water and stuff, but we weren't really that healthy. I go to the washroom one day, kind of had a bit of diarrhea, and I look down and the color of the toilet is blood red. That was absolutely freaking me out, because the first thing I did was I googled it. The first thing that shows up is colon cancer, and like you're gonna die. You got 24 hours to live and stuff. So I freak out, scream over to the guys like, come check this out. They take a look and start freaking out as well. We went to the clinic, I got some meds for it. It wasn't anything really serious. The doctor was just like, you need to start drinking way more water. That whole thing went through, and you actually got that later in the trip as well.
Like a little bit.
It can happen.
I didn't freak out.
Well, it's because I survived. Lesson from that one, I mean, scary things happen when you travel.
It happens. People, especially when you go to the doctor, they've probably seen them before, like, oh, this happens 20 times a week. Here's this pill. Change your diet. Infections. This leads us to infections.
We were in Europe on BDT. We were in Vienna, and I was cutting my nails and had a hangnail. Pulled the hangnails out, boing, like just the smallest thing. That got infected. 24 hours, my finger was red. 48 hours, the finger was pussy, and 3 days later, couldn't touch my finger. You need to have a doctor's note to get a prescription of amoxicillin in that European country.
In Europe.
I had to wait till we went to the next country. So yeah, it was like 72 hours of absolute death pain in one finger that was like spreading through my whole hand.
It was like...
Yeah.
Basically, in general, anywhere you go that's far away from where you've been born and lived your whole life, different bacteria in the water, in the air, in the earth, in general. Everything is just slightly different. So obviously get your travel shots, you should get those regardless. You should treat your cuts, especially Southeast Asia, that area, beaches, paradise, hot weather, breeds parasites, stuff
your body isn't used to fighting.
The locals might be okay, they're doing cool, but you're just not used to it. So you get a little cut, you ignore it for a day or 2, 3 days later, you're pussing out of your leg and you can't walk. You gotta take antibiotics and stuff. Happened to every one of us.
So you never know.
Treat infections, that's the key.
Which lends us to our fourth and really gross story as well. We were in Nicaragua earlier this year. There was a group of 10 of us, and we had a lady who was cooking for us. We're not sure if it was something she cooked or somebody in the town, but essentially all of us got sick within a 72-hour window. Like sick out both ends
at the same time.
It was absolutely awful, and like you just be sitting throwing up in the toilet, or like sitting on the toilet throwing up that end. Obviously we all survived. It was totally fine. We just had to keep pumping ourselves with fluids. We were worried about each other, getting really, really dehydrated and stuff, and we weren't eating. But that happens. Like you gotta be ready for it. So our lesson for that is be prepared. Have a buddy check in on you if it does happen. Show up with something like activated charcoal or gravel, for example.
The locals might know sometimes too because they're more adept to it. Ask them what I should take for this.
Anyways, the lessons of all this stuff. When you're traveling, you are more susceptible to infection than any of the locals are. Be prepared. Get your shots. Show up with the right kind of meds or things that you need specifically. Know your body. Know if you start feeling coming down with something. Have a buddy system, and don't be afraid to go to the clinic if you think you're coming down with something.
Don't freak out. Get travelers insurance. Google won't always really give you the right answer. It will give you the worst answer and you'll freak out more.
Shit happens when you're traveling. Be ready for it. Like this video, subscribe, hit that like button.
Share the video with your friends that are going traveling.
Leave a comment.
They don't get sick.
Let us know a story that you have that is disgusting,
Tell
crazy.
us your travel story. What is the worst shit that has happened to you?
Yeah, and we'll answer them. We'll answer any questions you have, or maybe we'll feature a question on the next video. Who knows?
What is the worst thing that happened to you traveling? Go. Is that recording?
Si.
My in focus? Is my hair nice?
Keep your head on,
Let's go check his hair.